Hey y'all, Bush here. With all the Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare hackers running around, the question that is asked today is, what is next for the franchise? So far, I talked about why you shouldn't play the game right now, why you should play the game, and a whole retrospective video on it. So it makes sense for me to ask, what is next for the franchise? So right now, we're going to talk about the current status of PvZ, what we can do right now, and the possibilities if they do return to the franchise. So stay till the end. With Plants vs. Zombies being a massive franchise with over 100 million downloads in the mobile game and 20 million players across all the shooter games, Plants vs. Zombies have a very big fan base behind it, especially for nostalgia. The Garden Warfare series especially is great at being an alternative to COD when it first released back in 2014, with many variants, game modes, customizations, and abilities, and a lot of replayability to the game with its unique maps and colorful graphics. And with 2 more games released later down the line, we need to look at what's next for the future, if there's even a future at all. If we look specifically at Garden Warfare 1, most of the lobbies are dead. The only game mode that has anyone playing right now is Gardens and Graveyards, and sometimes Team Vanquish, and on Garden Warfare 2, there's a bigger fan base, but I sadly don't have stock footage of that yet, but I will soon. And the last major update to Garden Warfare 1 was Legends of the Lawn DLC, and Garden Warfare 2 was Frontier Fighters, which did add a lot of new players and kept the player base coming back, but that was many years ago. And BFN didn't do much, but if you know, you know. BFN had a good concept and idea, but failed to deliver on updates, and it got canceled very early on without giving it a chance to show us something. So, what now? Well, the most we can do is just wait, because there has been no news anywhere for the Plants vs. Zombies franchise. Nothing has been posted on the official PvZ Twitter account in a long time, EA has stopped caring, and most of the devs have gone on to work on different projects, but it doesn't mean we can't lose all hope. So let's talk about the possibilities. If enough fan cry goes out, we could potentially get EA's attention. Maybe not to get a new game, but potentially to fix the current servers to come back. Because not that long ago, Titanfall 2, a game also owned by EA, got an update, and that game is almost 7 years old, so the possibilities are not gone. But let's say in an alternative universe where they did return to the Garden Warfare franchise. More specifically, Garden Warfare 2, let's speculate what could they add. Adding a new character right now seems a bit too much, but what they could do is maybe add some new maps. Maybe a remastered of all the previous maps from Garden Warfare 1 to Garden Warfare 2. For example, a both zombified and normal version of it. For example, Main Street was actually planned to be re-added being a zombified version of it in these unconfirmed unseen screenshots, and it looks so good! And guessing by this, the roles would have been reversed, but to add some flair, it could also have the original map as well, so we have a mixture of the two, so it can be Plants vs. Zombies and Zombies against Plants. So Cactus Canyon and Driftwood Shores would be zombified, but as well as the original maps would be coming back. Even though we have classic Walnut Hills, we should also get a zombified version of it. They would play mainly the same, but with small map differences. And I think all the Team Vanquish's maps from all 3 games, including Battle for Neighborville, can make a return, but Turf Takeover maps from BFN will need a rework, so they will stay out for a bit. And you guys remember Boss Mode, that horrible mode? Well, maybe it could be reworked, and I'm gonna pitch some ideas and you guys let me know. Right now, I suggest keep Boss Mode the way it is, but add some new mechanics and abilities, and reduce the ability cooldown. Right now, in the first game, we have Radar, Heal, Airstrike, and Revive, but some of the abilities, specifically Airstrike and Revive, take way too long to come back, and you use it like 7 times a round, which is not very effective most of the time because you're collecting sun and brains. So to fix that issue, I say let's reduce the cooldown by half. Some new abilities that could be added, and this applies to both plants and zombies, is number 1, an idea to summon spawnables to help. They can come in groups of 10, and you can summon any spawnable with the amount of sun/brains you have. For example, 100 sun to summon 10 normal ones, 200 to summon a Buckethead variant, 300 for explosive imps, and 700 for like outhouse zombies because they're very strong. They will have a 45-second cooldown because of how much they can change the tide of a battle. To follow on in this idea, maybe we can add more craziness to the games. For example, bosses, to follow what they do in the trailer, because in the trailer we see the Yeti and Anchuar. So maybe for like 1500 to 2000 brains/sun, you could summon one boss that will take a whole 2 minutes to use because you can summon Disco, Ganchuar, Baron, or any of the plant-sided bosses. You won't be able to summon any story mode bosses, just the one from Garden Ops or Graveyard Ops. And to make it more balanced, for ability 1 and 2, you can only summon them on your half of the map, so the enemy team doesn't randomly get a Ganchuar summon on top of them. Our third ability would be able to place down cameras around the map as a replacement to the radar. It will cost the same 75 sun, but you can place multiple and switch between them. Basically what they do in Five Nights at Freddy's. They can stay until they are destroyed, or you can manually destroy them. This will give us more visual feedback for you instead of the stupid pop-up that doesn't help us, and you can use their ability more accurately. I would say only 10 can be placed at a time. Another ability I thought is maybe to have a more group management ability. Maybe you can put down a flag to direct allies to go in a certain area. It will cost 200 sun/brains to push people to group up, like better heal station, or they can get a small speed boost and ability cooldown. That's some ideas I wanted to throw out here. So if you guys want me to go more in depth in boss mode, because a lot of ideas, comment and subscribe, and I will go more in depth on how to revamp boss mode. Finally, maybe some new story missions, how they did in BFN. Maybe they could do something here for Garden Warfare 2, and maybe at the end it leads up to some amazing final giant boss. Maybe some new area to explore, which leads up to a giant boss at the end. And you can play with some friends. Conclusion, Plants vs. Zombies is a game loved by all, and PopCap abandoning it is so disheartening. Even a small update to fix bugs and hackers could 100% restore faith in this game. So EA, PopCap, if you can ever have a change of heart, please at least return to the franchise and give it new life. A chance for us fans to thrive again. And hey, if you really need some ideas, I'm right here. But in all seriousness, please come back to the franchise. Even to fix the servers, that'll be enough. But until that happens, we just have to wait and see. Until then, goodbye.